everybody, Aylin Hart here, and so today I wanted to do something a little bit different for my video just because I've been going through some things in my personal life. So we're gonna have just like a little coffee talk. Well, actually I'm having tea. I'm having lavender tea because I'm trying to be more calm and zen. So that's what we're gonna do today. I have a vague idea of what I want to talk about. I didn't script it out. I just want to chat, and I've had a lot of things on my mind lately, and I've been doing some posting on my personal Facebook page, which a lot of other authors and readers and bloggers and all kinds of people are on my friends list. And I've always been very honest about my struggles with anxiety and depression. And lately, my anxiety has taken hold of me and it's affected everything in my life. And so today I really just kind of wanted to talk about anxiety. So here we go to a coffee or tea chat, and we're going to talk about anxiety and listening to yourself and self-care and a break from Facebook that I took that was really quite interesting. So here we go. So a lot of people know that I do have this semicolon tattoo. And if you are not aware of what a semicolon tattoo is it is a mental health awareness tattoo. And it is basically saying, when there's a semicolon in a sentence, the sentence goes on. And so you are basically saying, my story is going on or my story is continuing. I have battled anxiety and depression since probably high school is the first time I can really remember having my first bout of depression. And the anxiety followed. In my early 30s, I had my first real panic attack where I thought I was literally going to die. I was in the middle of work and things were going great. And then all of a sudden, I couldn't breathe and my heart was pounding and the room was spinning. And that was my first experience with a panic attack and when I got diagnosed as having anxiety. Everyone has different levels of anxiety. Mine is what you would call high functioning anxiety, where a lot of people don't actually know how big of a struggle it is to be in my brain every single day. Every single day is a struggle for me to sometimes get through life. And that is a really hard thing to say, but again, it's all about honesty. And in the last 4 years, my life has been kind of in a constant state of change. And one of the changes that I made was that I would always live my truth. No matter what my truth was, I would live it, I would speak it, I would own it. If it hurt someone else but wasn't out of cruelty, then it would need to be said, because I think that to be your best self, you have to be honest with yourself, no matter what that means, and be honest with the people around you. Now, for me, when I am in a massive state of anxiety, I get very restless. I can't concentrate. I have a hard time sleeping. Sometimes for me, there is a very sudden sense of fear that I can't control. Sometimes there is just this feeling of impending doom and my thoughts spin out of control and I do what I call doom spiraling. Give me a scenario, I can come up with 10 of the most horrifying outcomes possible, and I will convince myself that those are the outcomes that are going to happen. And it's something I can't control. It's just something that I fight. It's something that I know is not logical, but it is what happens inside of my head. Sometimes I think that that's what makes me a good writer, is because I have this ability to come up with these crazy scenarios and crazy things that could happen and, doom scenarios. And maybe it's that, you know, sense of spiraling that does help me sometimes come up with different scenarios for books. At least I'm going to chalk it up to that. Recently in a book, I actually wrote that, you need to listen to yourself. And one of the characters is talking about how your mind and your heart and your body tell you things. And when they tell you things, you need to listen. And some people call it intuition or a gut feeling or whatever it is. It's like this magical thing where your body and your mind and your heart know something that your brain just does not want to admit to. but you need to listen to those because they know things. For me, my life had been I was feeling chaotic. All of my thoughts were chaotic. I wasn't doing the things that I normally do to kind of keep myself in check. And I do think that one of my strongest suits in having anxiety and depression is that I am very self aware and I have that ability usually to kind of step back and be like, check yourself, bro. That attitude though, I have normally I can tell when it's coming on, and I tell the people around me, hey, this is happening to me right now, and I'm trying to like keep myself in check, but it's not always easy. For me, the things that keep me really grounded are being very organized and being very planned. And there are some very deep-seated psychological reasons for that I'm not going to get into, but I am very type A. I am kind of neurotic. I'm very high strung. I am very OCD. I have to have a plan at all times. I have to know what's going on at all times. That's what makes me feel comfortable. That's what gives me the ability to function, is by knowing what's going to happen every single day, every week, every month, and having a plan for every week, every month, every year, every 5 years. That's what makes me me, and that's what makes me sane and calm and able to function and go through my days. Life is crazy and it is messy and it is beautiful. And when you have the ability to just kind of split yourself wide open and your thoughts are in line with what you need, the rest will come to you. So here are some things that I do to manage my anxiety on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And if you also suffer or live with anxiety, some of these things might be helpful. And one of them for me, and the first big thing, was just the checking out for a little bit and stepping back. I took a 5-day break from Facebook. I deleted it from my phone, and at first I had also deleted Messenger, but then I realized that's how I get a hold of my son throughout the day when I'm at work or if he's at school or at a friend's house, so I did have to put that back on, and I also got rid of Twitter. The reason it was really important for me to do that is when I'm in a heightened state of emotion or in a heightened state of panic or nervousness, sometimes everything that's on Facebook really affects me. The drama, the politics, when you're in author groups or everywhere on Facebook, like just the humble bragging, the look at me posts, the validate me posts, the attention seeking posts. It's draining. It's really draining, and I needed to take a step back from that. And what I learned was really, really interesting. So the first day, I found myself looking at my phone seriously every 2 to 5 minutes. I knew I didn't have Facebook on my phone, but I still pulled it out of my pocket every 2 to 5 minutes and looked at it. And it made me realize how addicted I was to knowing what was going on all the time, even though and I hate to say it because I'm also one of those people who does this, but 75 to 80% of what people post on Facebook is just complete bullshit. And I don't know why I felt that need every single day, all the time, to just check and see what people were up to, what they were posting, what they were commenting on my things. Like, why was this important to me that I would do it constantly? If I was going to the bathroom, I would pull out my phone and look. On a 15-minute break, instead of reading a book or talking to people, I would scroll through Facebook and just randomly click like on everything that I passed for absolutely no reason at all, just because I knew that person. And sometimes I just clicked like because I'm like, oh, I think they clicked like on something of mine the other day and I don't want to look, like a jackass. By the second day, I really did not miss Facebook all that much. And I stopped pulling my phone out of my pocket to look. And on my 15-minute break, I took a book and I read a book. I read a book. And then on my next 15-minute break, I had a conversation with an actual human being. Shocking, I know. By day 3, I was actually calmer. My mind was clearer, and it was bizarre. And because I am who I am, I did some research and I actually learned that it is a fact that Facebook can actually increase your stress levels. By day 4, I was so much calmer. I really didn't care about what was going on Facebook. It was the most bizarre thing. By day 5, I did check in and say, hey, I'm here, I'm alive, so I actually enjoyed my break from Facebook so much that I am going to leave it off my phone for the time being because it's not necessary, it's not needed, it isn't feeding my soul. All it's doing is feeding my need to be in the know of what's going on all the time, even though there is nothing of much importance that is happening on Facebook. So I'm allowing myself to get on in the evenings and post what I need to post about my books, or maybe, like a meme or, whatever, but I'm not going to spend countless time on my phone or on my computer and just be randomly scrolling Facebook and Twitter and getting caught up in drama. The other reason that it was really important to take a step back from Facebook is that, especially in the author game and probably in other things, is that there's a saying that says comparison is the thief of joy, and it is absolutely true. When you have other people posting and boasting about all their accomplishments or their amazing relationships or their vacations or their money or whatever, it is human nature to kind of compare yourself a little bit and be like, wow, this person started publishing after me and they've already sold how many books? And it's human nature to do it, and we tell ourselves not to do it, and you tell yourselves, not to compare yourself to other people, but it's natural to do it, and it's natural to feel like those feelings of jealousy. And again, so for my own health, I stepped back from that a little bit. Next thing that always makes me feel better is getting outside and going for a walk or doing some gardening or doing something that is not cooped up in my house, as I tend to do, because when I am feeling anxious and depressed, I do isolate. So I have to sometimes force myself to get out there and do these things, but I do always end up feeling better. For me, it was getting outside and taking some walks and taking care of my body. And it also just helped my mind kind of get in line with everything else. The walks calmed me down. The fresh air calmed me down. When I walk, I think and I don't overthink. It's almost like my mind processes a little bit better when I get outside and just get some movement, get your body going. I mean, you have one body in this lifetime, why not take care of it? And so if the least I can do is go for a walk, then why not? The next thing that you need to do if you are suffering from anxiety and depression is ditch toxic people. It sometimes hurts to do, and I have gotten rid of friends that were toxic to me, and it's a very hard thing to do. But when you have people who, how do I say it, when they don't support your mental illness and they don't support what you need, and when they don't maybe believe how serious this issue is to you, or when people just kind of aren't there for you or understanding of what you're going through, then those people are not good for you. They are not good for your mental health, and you have to make hard decisions sometimes about getting rid of people who do not support you emotionally or physically, or who don't take what you're going through seriously. When anxiety and depression gets really bad, sometimes the thoughts get really scary, and you need people in your life who can support you and who understand what you're going through and who have the ability to look at the things that you are doing and saying and say, okay, you know, calm down, take a step back, get outside, let's talk about this. You need those people. For me, I do have a person that I can reach out to, and I did reach out to this person about a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago when I felt myself kind of really spiraling out of control and really working hard to keep it all together and not let people know how bad it was getting. I did reach out to this person because they had helped me through a really bad depression that I had last year in the fall. It was really bad. And this person really helped me through that, whether they knew it or not, because I did try to push when I'm in that state. I do try to push people away, but they stuck by me. And thank God for that, because they are an excellent support network for me. And that is something, you know, that you need. You need that person, even if it's just one person that you can talk to and say, hey, my mind is scaring me right now. I am feeling out of control right now. What help me through this, talk me down. Next thing that I do is I find things that make me happy. For me, having a really clean house makes me happy. Having a very organized house makes me happy. So I spent an entire week cleaning my house top to bottom. I mean, like getting in the corners, getting into the ceiling, washing down walls, you name it, I did it all. I got into closets and cupboards and organized and purged, and the more I cleaned and the more I purged, the clearer I actually felt, because I realized that in the last 2 months, I have been like surface cleaning and I haven't been organizing and I haven't been doing all the things that I normally do. And I think that that was contributing to me kind of my mind kind of just spiraling. And so that makes me happy. And if cleaning doesn't make you happy, then don't clean something, but find things that make you happy. The other thing that really makes me happy is planning. Now, I've always wanted one of those cute little planners, those Erin Condrens, but they're super expensive, and I'm a single mom, I'm on a budget, and I can't really justify spending that much money on a planner book and some stickers. And so Walmart came out with the poor people's version. So I got this cute little planner, and I really love it. It was $9, and all the little stickers were 88 cents. And it was just so much fun to sit down and plan and make it cute and make it fun and really come up with a plan for the month, and, you know, the things that I want to focus on, the things that are important to me, the things I need to get done, even things I want to do on social media as far as, you know, writing, you know, blogging, my videos, my word counts, everything is going to go on here. And this was so much fun that I think I'm going to do that as a video every month. I'm going to do like a plan with me, because again, getting all this stuff down on paper and saying, okay, here's what I'm doing this month and here's my focus. This month I'm focusing on my health. I'm focusing on my kids. I'm focusing on keeping my home, you know, clean and cooking dinners. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what's going to feed my soul this month. And that made me feel much better. Oh, and look at the cover. I mean, I'm a cat lady, so of course I had to have this. Next thing I always do to make myself feel better when I am having anxiety is I really take a good long look at my diet. Now, I do already eat pretty healthy. Everybody makes fun of me. I am sort of obsessed with kale. I love chia seeds. I mean, I do eat very healthy, but I also do have some unhealthy habits of like snacking or having a couple glasses of wine at night or drinking too much coffee. And I have to clean those things up and take a step back and be like, okay, you know, let's skip the bacon with your eggs in the morning, and instead maybe let's have some berries and some flaxseed and some chia seed, and, you know, feed yourself that way. So again, just cleaning up my diet a little bit, coming down on the coffee, because what happens when I'm anxious is I don't sleep. So then I want to drink more coffee to wake myself up, but then the coffee makes me more anxious and nervous than I already am. And I've already said that I am a very hyper, kind of neurotic person. And so that just like hypes me up and makes it worse. And so when I take a step back and I have some herbal tea instead of, you know, all the coffee that I'm drinking throughout the day, that actually does help me out a lot. The other thing that I did is I took a step back from my writing again, because I realized that I was trying to write really fast. And again, playing the comparison game, because this person was writing their book really fast. I felt like I needed to write my book really fast. And the truth is that my creativity comes in bursts and I have to go with it. I have to follow it. And forcing myself to write to keep up with other people, when I went back and reread it, there was just nothing magical and nothing sparkly on my pages. It wasn't my writing. It was a story and it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't me. It didn't have my sparkle in those words because I was trying to just force story out of myself so that I could keep up with the comparison game of, oh, you wrote X amount of words today. Okay, well, I wrote this amount of words today. And anybody who knows me knows I am a hyper competitive person. I'm very, very competitive. And so I want to write faster and I want to do bigger. And I have to tell myself all the time to step back from that and stop being so competitive, because it's not going to make my book better just because I got it out faster or because I wrote it as fast as somebody else. I write at my pace and I write at when I have energy bursts and creativity bursts. And when my mind is clear and I do all of these steps that I just mentioned doing, the creativity seems to come to me. And so finally it came back to me, but I'm still going to step back, I think, for another week and just read some books and play some video games and go for some walks and hang out with my kids and cook some dinners and just really take care of myself and my mind and my brain. When you have anxiety and depression, your brain is sick. And it's okay to say that. It's okay to say, my brain is sick and I have to take care of myself. When you have a cold or you have a flu or you have a stomach virus, you take care of yourself. So why would you not take care of yourself when your mind is sick? Self-care is sexy. Last thing that I did this time, normally I do a lot of meditating. Everybody knows I like to do yoga. I like to meditate. I'm kind of always posting Buddha quotes. I spent a lot of time meditating and I also spent a lot of time praying. I prayed for probably 2 weeks solid, just putting my energy out into the universe and asking for energy back and asking for guidance and asking for, signs of what I needed to do and how I needed to move forward. And, whatever you believe in, whether you believe in God, whether you believe in some other higher being, or whether you just believe in just sort of spiritual energy, I put that energy out into what I'm comfortable with. And I got the energy back in a way that I'm comfortable with and respond to. So this isn't a, oh, go to church message. This isn't a, you need to pray to God kind of message. It's not that. This isn't religious at all. It's more about just putting energy out and asking for energy back. What is my cat doing? I posted on my Instagram today and it said basically that energy flows where energy goes. And what that basically means is that what you put out, you get back. And this was something that I had actually been doing a long time ago. I had been listening to these CDs called Energy Anatomy, and it was basically about, putting positivity out into the universe and getting positivity back. And so when you're putting negativity out into the universe, whether it's talking badly about people or even just thinking negatively, reining yourself back in and trying to be more positive and get that positive energy back. And it sounds all new age and hippie, but it really is true. When you put positivity out into your life, you're going to get positivity back. And so that's what I'm going to continue to do. And I'm going to really focus on being more positive, and posts that I make on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, I really want to spread positivity and keep this going for myself and keep this healthy mindset and keep people in my life who support me and who are there for me emotionally, and who, even if they don't understand fully what it's like to be a person who lives with anxiety, they still can say, I'm your friend, I'm here for you. If you need to talk, I'm here. And sometimes that's all you need. The thing that went along with my yoga and my meditating, I like Eastern medicine. Very intrigued by Eastern medicine. Why can't I say that? I've always been really intrigued with Eastern medicine, and I think that's why I'm so drawn to yoga and all these things and chakras. And so I found these really cute candles. I've been burning these while I do my meditating, and I found again it just sort of really helps with that peaceful, calm energy, and I found it really useful. Okay, so I think that's it for coffee tea talk. I feel kind of talked out, and I actually do have a very busy day today, according to my planner. So if you are a person who suffers with or lives with any kind of mental illness, whether it's anxiety or depression or bipolar or anything, um, just know that you are not alone. And I will always talk to anybody. I enjoy meeting people. I enjoy talking to people. Um, my door is always open. If you aren't comfortable talking to me, then find somebody that you can talk to. The reason that I got this tattoo and I put it in such a visible place is I really wanted when people saw it who knew what it is, and if they go through the same things, it's sort of my visual that you are not alone. And I did have a really cool thing happen to me once. I was out with some girlfriends. Club we were at this club and watching some male entertainers, and this girl approached me in the bathroom. And at first, it freaked me out because I thought, I mean, I don't know. I thought like she was gonna want to fight or something. And she grabbed me by the arm and she said, "Hey, I want to mad props to you." And she said, "I know what your tattoo means, and you know, mad props to you, and I'm actually getting one really soon." And that's why I got this where I got it. I could have easily have put it somewhere hidden or on my wrist or somewhere, but I wanted it to be visible, and I wanted it right over my heart, and I wanted people to see it and know that they were not alone. And you don't have to suffer in silence, and you don't have to suffer alone. And so that is why I got this. And I am in a healthy enough place now, after finally clearing my mind, taking a week to really center myself and ground myself and find my happy and find my peace and find my zen and get my mind clear and healthy. I'm in a place where I can say, if you are feeling that way, reach out and I will talk to you, or I will point you in a direction to talk to someone else. Today's video is over. Please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell and click like on this video. Really hope that anybody out there who's watching who goes through these things, I hope that you feel empowered to take care of yourself. And I really send nothing but peace and love and light out to you. And I wish for nothing but your own mental clarity. Find things that make you happy. Get outside and take a walk. I know when I get really depressed, I get really mad when people tell me to go outside and take a walk, but the truth is it does make me feel better, even though I fight it. Find things that make you happy, find things that make you calm, find people you can talk to, and just know that you are not alone. And I will see you guys next week.